How are we all doing? Well, I said I was going to do a Q&A on the channel, so I've taken your questions from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those channels, and I'm going to answer some of them right now. So over on Instagram, chimp_city says, is it true crucians can't persist in water bodies with predatory fish like pike? So yes and no. Crucians are really susceptible to predation by pike because they're very slow and quite frankly dopey fish. They just kind of mope around, so they're an easy target for pike. So I would say if you're a fishery and you've got pike in it, there's not much point stocking crucians unless you've either got really weedy patches for those crucians to get in and hide, or you've got very big crucians, because what crucians do is they develop a really high back as a predator avoidance strategy. And this means that when a pike T-bars one, got a little pike behind me actually in the tank, it means they can't swallow it. So on the flip side, you might end up with not many crucians, but they could be really big. So they can coexist, but it's not the best. So TommySmith8.ts says, if you could reintroduce one species back to the UK, which one would it be and why? So I think people are expecting me to say burbot here, but I'm going to go a little bit left field. I'm going to say lynx, Eurasian lynx. I would love to see the lynx back for two simple reasons. One, they're fucking awesome, but two, they're a top predator. And what they would do is drastically reduce the numbers of deer in the UK. And not only that, they would also alter the deer's behaviour. The UK has got a chronic infestation of deer. We've got 6 species, 4 of them are non-native. And my biggest argument for this to control deer numbers is roundabout on average, I think it's 25 people die in road accidents with deer each year. And if we had less deer, that would be 25 more people who would be alive right now. So you can't argue with that. Surely less deer is a good thing. And a completely natural, free way of getting rid of those deer is adding in a predator like a lynx. Rather than having to hire someone to shoot them and go for all that effort, a lynx can do it all for free. So I'm well up for lynx. I think Scotland is the obvious choice, but there's no reason why we couldn't have lynx in some of the wilder parts of England and Wales as well. Tom Humps_angling says, if you could kiss any animal with 0 repercussions, which animal and why? We're getting into my weirder fan base now. I can honestly say I've never considered kissing any animal. I guess it has to be something weird because you want to brag about it, like cassowary or something like that. That'd be an interesting one, wouldn't it? But can't say I've given that much thought before. Andrew_Ems83 on Instagram also puts, any updates on the burbot reintroduced to the UK? They haven't been reintroduced yet. Norfolk Rivers Trust are still working on it. I'm in contact with them. I do remain optimistic, although it is taking its bloody time for various reasons which I won't go into here. The ball is still rolling is what I will say, so don't lose hope yet. Hopefully we can get burbot back into the UK, which would be amazing. I would love to see that. Sophie Bestwick puts, have I ever been to Clubey? That's a very niche reference that most people are not going to get. I used to go to Falmouth University, and in Falmouth there is a club called Clubey, which is an experience, and only those that have been there will know what it's like. Yes, I used to frequent that place more times than I care to admit. Flippins12, interesting name, put, will you ever live live trap, I can't fucking read, will you ever live trap mice and do a film on it? No, I won't do that. That's a strange one. I don't know, I suspect, why would I want to trap mice? I don't know. Yeah, no is the short answer. No, I'm not. Mark Everard on Facebook puts, what is the most inspiring things you can film under the ice or in chilled rivers? I've not really filmed under the ice before because we don't get enough ice in the UK generally, and most things go pretty dormant. So I've never really filmed under the ice. I would love to give it a go in places like Sweden, Finland, Norway, where you've got like European whitefish, burbot, Arctic char, things like that. That'd be really interesting. So I'd love to do that one day. That'd be pretty good. And the last question is from YouTube. It's at Mr. Tim207, and he's put, how do you manage to position your underwater cameras in running water? I've been trying to do it with a 7-meter pole. Yeah. So this is going to make me sound very grumpy, but I don't reveal how I film anything. So if you've ever asked me in a YouTube comment and been like, Jack, how do you do this? You'll notice that generally I don't reply. And there's a reason for that. This is my full-time career. So a lot of people, I get asked this all the time, is this your job? Yeah, my job is filming fish. That's primarily how I make my income. Well, only how I make my income really, is filming fish in the UK. And what I do is there's loads of different methods. I don't use one method, I use lots of different methods. None of it is groundbreaking, and if you use your brain, you can probably work out how I do it. But I'm not going to spell it out for you. The analogy I use is if you were an electrician, you wouldn't message another electrician and say, how do I do your job? So I get that most people are coming from just an enthusiastic place and they want to learn and perhaps, without me sounding too big-headed, inspired by the stuff that I do. But this is how I pay my mortgage and my bills and everything. And let's say that I tell you how to film it exactly, with what camera and where to do it. You get some nice footage and then a TV program gets in touch with you and says, we'd like to buy that. You're not going to say, oh, actually, I'd rather you go to Jack Perks. You're going to sell that, and that's money out of my pocket. So I know that's a very long-winded answer, and it might make me sound a bit like an arsehole. I don't particularly care, but I'm just saying I'm not going to tell people. I will never do a video on how I film things exactly. I always get asked this, will you do a video? So just to clarify, unless I become independently wealthy overnight, I am never going to make that video. And I'm sorry that people might want to know that, but I'm not. Anyway, that's the Q&A, to end on a nice negative note. I might do another one of these in a while if people have got more questions, and I'll see you in the next vid. Cheers. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this vid, why not check out this other video right here? If you can, please subscribe to the channel, only takes a couple of seconds and it really helps me out. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.